Sarah and Etan. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you for your joy in standing with you and your families at this magical time of your lives. When we discussed possible dates for the wedding, and there were a few of them, one of the candidates interviewed was Purim. I believe it was retired from active consideration for logistical reasons, but there were no halachic impediments. Because unlike the pilgrimage festivals, where we say Ma'arvin Simcha B'Simcha, Purim would have hosted your joy with great harmony. Because the truth is that when a special bride and a special groom find one another, it is the greatest fulfillment of the aspiration of Purim. We are told that on Purim, Kiyamu v'Kiblu, there was a ratification and acceptance of the Torah which had guided our people since the time of Sinai. And first in that generation, was it truly complete? Was it truly brought to earth? The two of you are each descended from families whose names were ancient and revered before anyone who is now alive in the world was born. And yet, those names would be of little other than antiquarian interest if their descendants did not have the stature to be ancestors themselves. If those who have received the tradition were not cut of cloth equally remarkable as those who founded them, if they were not of the strength that if they had to begin again with only these two individuals, the roots would be deep and the trunk would be strong, and 1,000 wonderful generations could come from them. Etan, it has been my sweet pleasure to watch you grow to man's estate. To know you as a little boy, to know you as a camper and a counselor, and to have you grow into someone I consider a valued friend and someone in whom I confide with perfect trust. I've watched the values manifest in your life with independence and with your own particular stamp. Your love of the state and the land of Israel as you wore the uniform of its army. Your love of the Torah of our people as you made it accessible to the students in our community. And always with a touch that was vintage Etan, a depth of loyalty and affection, a laughter always ready to bubble up to the surface, but a very tender heart. How thrilled all of us who love you were when you brought us your Sarah. Sarah, who comes from old and wonderful families, families which have, with their own signature, served in the Seattle community to represent great values, tremendous integrity, closeness, just as we in Riverdale have been blessed by your family, Etan. Sarah's deep understanding, her strength, the laugh which is also never far from the surface. We are so thankful. But perhaps most of all, we are thankful for that extraordinary trust which exists between the two of you, which allows for perfect honesty, for each of you to lay down the burdens of life and rest in one another's care. It is because we have seen that and the great love that grows between you that we rejoice with you today, this day of Kimu V'Kiblu, when your families and all of the ancestors can rejoice that they have descendants who are worthy to accept everything, but of stature, that if they had to, they could begin the whole glorious enterprise again. You are not only the love of Sinai and of Purim celebration. You are that primal love, Kisamechecha Yitzircha Legan Eden Mikeden, that the world has a new beginning in you. And we wish you God's love and His protection for all of the years of your lives together, and for all the generations that will be blessed to come from you. I'm so honored to be able to share this time, not only with you, but with your parents, Sarah, Greg and Dorothy Rohr. We're so happy to have the best of Seattle here among us. To greet and to honor your grandparents, Sarah, David, and Diana Azos, and to send our love and our blessing to your grandparents, Fred and Sarah Rohr, who I know are embracing you right along with your grandfather's Tavis. And to share this with those to whom we have debts we cannot recite, to Jack and Gitti, who have been there for all of our children, for the Regal Els, and dear Donald and Hansi Butler. I remember, we all remember so fondly, your grandfather, Charlie Bentheim, Zecher Tzadik Livracha. He was just leaving us as you became a bar mitzvah. I don't think I'll ever forget that day if I live to be 123. To all of them, to all of your wonderful siblings, friends, and your dear ones, in you, I wish Mazel Tov and God's blessing. We know that both in terms of tradition and aspirations for the future, you are both wrapped up. And so for the one, the beautiful Shir Hamalos, the traditions of German Jewry, followed by the prayer for peace in the land of Israel, and your pledge to make your house a building block of the rebuilding of Jerusalem.